Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to tell you about my first hardcore ride in the rain and some of the devastation that I experienced from leaving my most prized possession behind at one point. And no, it wasn't the motorcycle. So Monday evening I was going to school, or my class, and I was dodging thunderstorms because I obviously checked the weather before I left, and I figured I might run into one, and if that was the case, no problem. It would be my first real thunderstorm while riding on my bike. So that tells you that I'm a newbie. And so I got my gear in my bag, the extra rain gear, inner liner for my jacket, and the back of my pants have a zip up feature. So I had those unzipped because it's been hot really a lot lately. So put those in the bag and drove the 30 minutes to class, no problem. There's thunderstorms to my left, to my right, the clouds were dark, and then I had sun for me everywhere I went. So that was really cool. Well, I got to this class, which was the first time I'd ever been there, to this campus, and holy crap, I could not find my class. All the buildings were labeled with the same first starting letter, C. And oops, wrong gear. So I was like, well, I need to find the one that's CN or whatever it was. And the maps, every time I looked at a different map, it was showing different buildings and different, the orientation was just swapped. So some were oriented with the lake on one side, and then some were oriented with the lake on the other side. So if they would have just put everything in one orientation like north, it would have been easy. Well, that wasn't the case. So the first time I thought I knew where I was going, and then I ended up near a construction site. And then basically what ended up happening was I went around the entire campus, the complete opposite way where I should have been going to finding the building. And luckily there was another classmate that ran into me, and freaking everybody on campus was asking me where everything else was. So that tells you how poorly designed their map system must have been, because nobody could figure out where they were going. And it was an evening time period, so there weren't very many people on campus either, I guess. It's the summer too. That's the other thing going on. But I love this road. So luckily I ran into that classmate, and then we finally found the classroom. I walked in there totally sweating and all that stuff. And I was kind of on the tired side. So after 3 hours of class, we got out around almost 10 o'clock. It was 9:45. As soon as the teacher let us go, I was out of there. I forgot my cell phone charging on this desk in the back. I was such an idiot. And then I got to my bike and realized I'd forgotten my cell phone. I was so mad. And I went back to the classroom, and the damn thing was gone. So I was like, well, I think the teacher must have taken the cell phone home. And I really hoped that was the case. There was only 6 people in the class, so that shouldn't have been an issue. They seemed like honest people. So, but I was still really, really upset. And to top it off, I had no way of contacting anybody in case something happened. And I couldn't check the weather. And it was dark. And I'd never ridden in the rain before. A thunderstorm for that matter, or just a lot of rain. And so when I got back out to the parking lot for the second time, cell phoneless, I think I lost it. I just started to cry. And then I was like, why am I crying? I can't cry in my helmet. It's really hard to cry in my helmet. Crying is not going to help me, so I stopped crying, sucked it up. I was like, I'm sure the teacher probably took care of everything. and I went on my way home. And I'll tell you what, I actually had a great time riding in the rain. It was my first experience, and I had watched several YouTube videos on how to ride in the rain, like just getting myself some tips, such as like the concept of how your bike is, yes, it's on two wheels, but the likelihood of it hydroplaning is a lot less, for instance, than a car, where a car has four wheels, and so therefore more parts are attaching to the road, you know? Yay, look at this corner, it's awesome. That's my favorite corner. My favorite corner, and I'm just starting to get into cornering, so I got a lot to learn, but still working on it. So my experience in the rain, and so yeah, I felt a lot more confident riding because I had those YouTube videos under my belt. So knowing that information, I rode home, and I took the way that I go through all the woods and stuff and the one-lane highways, so those are always fun. And it's the shorter way, honestly. And while I had cried, I felt like the rain was just washing away my misery. You know, and I never put on my rain gear. Like, I had this outfit on. I had a mesh jacket, leather gloves, and my waterproof pants, but I never sealed up the pants, and I didn't put the liner inside the mesh jacket. So it was funny. I started to feel the rain just get inside of everything, every little nook and cranny. But whatever, I actually felt happy about it. So I rode all the way home, and at one point it got really heavy, the rain, so I pulled over to really get a good wiping on my visor, and that felt like a relief because I also let some of the cars behind me go. And after I let all the traffic go by me, I just, I took my sweet old time going home. I didn't want to be in any rush. It was dark and rainy and hard to see, and I had no cell phone, so I had to be very careful. But I got home and then sent an email to my teacher, told my husband the whole story. The next morning, actually that night I had a nightmare that the cell phone had been lost, that I never would receive it again. But luckily I did have ability to switch from the one on my plan to an old cell phone temporarily, so I took care of that so I could receive calls until I received my new cell phone. But I did receive an email that morning, needless to say, that I was going to be getting my cell phone back. So I was so happy, and I got it back that evening. And yeah, from now on, I'm like, man, if it's going to rain, I'm going to be out in the rain. It's fun. Go down this road. So, not that I'm like, oh yeah, it's a thunderstorm, let's just go hop on the bike. That's not the case, but yeah, for sure. But it always amazes me how much stuff I keep learning about motorcycles. So there's a lot of information out there and a lot to learn. And I feel like I could never, ever get a big head. Even if I think I know it all, there's still more to learn. Yep. So, anyways, that was a short little story. And I'm thinking about doing some other things. So let me know what your ideas are. What should I talk about? What what do you want to hear me talk about? And I guess I will be signing off. See you guys next week or whatever it is that I get a chance to do this again. Ciao.